The controversy began with a sentence, "Sydney Sweeney has great jeans." It was meant to be catchy, light, clever. At least, that's how American Eagle Outfitters framed it when they rolled out their new campaign on July 23. At the center of it all was Sydney Sweeney, the Euphoria star known for her expressive acting and undeniable screen presence. She wore the jeans. She smiled in the ads. She lent her name to the product, the Sydney jean. But what was intended as a confident, playful nod to both fashion and individuality quickly became a lightning rod for criticism. Some viewers didn't see the slogan as lighthearted. They saw a coded message. They saw implications that reached far beyond fashion. In online spaces, the discourse took a sharp turn. Critics accused the campaign of invoking the language of eugenics, a pseudo-scientific ideology with a dark history of exclusion, control, and genetic supremacy. How, they asked, could a brand associate the phrase, "great jeans," with one person, a person celebrated not just for her style but for her physical appearance, and not expect backlash? Was this about denim? Or about DNA? The backlash grew. Social media erupted. Threads dissected the language. Users questioned the optics. Think pieces multiplied. Memes exploded. Was it an unfortunate pun? A tone-deaf marketing attempt? Or was it something more calculated? American Eagle stayed silent at first. But as the wave of criticism grew too loud to ignore, the brand finally spoke on August 1. In an Instagram post shared with its millions of followers, American Eagle tried to clear the air. "Sydney Sweeney has great jeans, is and always was about the jeans," the company wrote. Her jeans. Her story. The statement continued, emphasizing the campaign's intention to showcase confidence, style, and individuality. "We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their jeans with confidence, their way," it read. Great jeans look good on everyone. It was a reaffirmation, a doubling down. To the company, the controversy was a misunderstanding. To critics, it was a missed opportunity. Because at the heart of the outrage was a deeper frustration, the idea that brands still don't always understand the messages they send. Or perhaps, they do, and they gamble anyway. The ad wasn't just a poster. It was a campaign, a narrative, a choice. And in an era where language is scrutinized, dissected, and challenged within minutes of going live, every word matters. Sydney Sweeney, for her part, hasn't publicly commented on the controversy. But her face is still there, on billboards, in mall displays, in Instagram stories. She's the centerpiece of a denim line meant to capture General Z's attention and dollars. The Sydney jean itself isn't just a product. It's linked to a cause. A portion of its proceeds goes to the Crisis Text Line, a mental health resource that supports people in moments of crisis. That part of the campaign was overshadowed. The charity element, the potential positive impact, it got lost in the noise. Because people weren't talking about mental health. They were talking about messaging. About how a brand can take a word, jeans, and turn it into a minefield. Whether intentional or accidental, the damage was done. What could have been a clean, upbeat summer campaign became something else entirely. And the backlash wasn't just online chatter. It was part of a larger pattern. A reminder that in today's media landscape, consumers expect more than good-looking models and slick taglines. They expect awareness. They expect sensitivity. They expect accountability. American Eagle is no stranger to youth culture. Its brand has long leaned into teenage optimism, inclusivity, and empowerment. It champions body positivity. It spotlights diverse identities. It tries, at least on the surface, to be in tune. But this time, the campaign didn't land the way they hoped. It sparked division instead of delight. Confusion instead of clarity. Irony instead of inspiration. The backlash wasn't just about 4 words. It was about what those 4 words implied, or could be interpreted to imply. It was about image, language, power. It was about who gets celebrated, and why. It was about beauty standards. About history. About identity. In response, American Eagle reiterated that the campaign was about storytelling. Her story. Sydney's. But whose stories are we telling when we say someone has great jeans? Whose bodies are we highlighting? Whose beauty are we promoting? And who's left out of that picture? These are the questions that sit behind every campaign. They're not just about Sydney Sweeney. They're about the larger ecosystem of marketing and representation. They're about the choices brands make, who they elevate, what they say, how they say it. American Eagle insists the campaign was about denim. That, jeans, meant what they always mean, denim pants that hug your hips just right. But language is never that simple. Not anymore. Especially not when your audience is online, plugged in, and ready to call out anything that feels off. That's the reality of branding in 2025. Your audience watches you closely. They hold you accountable. And they talk back. So when a campaign like this lands awkwardly, when the line between clever and careless gets blurred, the reaction can be swift and unforgiving. Now, American Eagle is standing by its campaign. It's not pulling the ad. It's not rephrasing the slogan. It's not apologizing. Instead, it's doubling down. Great jeans look good on everyone, they say. That's the line they're holding. For some, it's enough. For others, it misses the point entirely. Because this was never just about jeans. It was about meaning, about responsibility, about the difference between clever marketing and careless messaging, and about what happens when a tagline meant to sell pants becomes the center of a national debate.